I've come to terms with the fact that I don't really care that much about personality tests. I know that's going to be sad to some people out there. I've taken the tests on my channel because people have wanted to know what mine was, and I wanted to know what Sarah's was a while ago, and so that helped. So that was interesting. I'll give you that. But I found one that I'm really interested in, a personality test. It stems back to like 4,000 years ago. I don't know if people out there have heard of it that much, but when I learned about it, it kind of has to do with medicine as well as your personality and kind of what your emotional downfall kind of is, you know what I mean? And what organ systems that harms, and gives you some foods and stuff, specifically like things that would help you as an individual to like help that organ system. So it is called the traditional Chinese medicine personality test. And this kind of goes back, 4,000 years. And I guess the idea of 5 elements that relate to the earth. There's, I forget what there are. There's earth, water, fire, see if I can remember, wood, and metal. There you go. There are 5 different elements that kind of fit within the framework of people, and you can be one element and have another little bit of an element in you. But so like a wood would need to maybe eat more sour and bitter foods to help with their liver because they're frustrated and angry, whereas an earth would need their emotional struggle is worry, and their spleen and stomach are the problem organs. Or, water is fear, and they need dark colored foods, and fire, spicy foods. It's just stuff like that. So that's kind of like the overall thought process behind it. It's so old, all right? It's ancient, like 4,000 years old, but it kind of just views the body as an entire system, and not our Western way of thinking. We think, oh, you have acne, put it like a face cream on, or just something like that. You know what I mean? Whereas with traditional Chinese medicine, it's like, let's get to the root of why this is going on, like within your overall system. So that's why I find TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, like very interesting, because that's kind of like already how I think of things. I've read a little bit on the different elements and stuff like that, and I think I already know what I am, but I want to take the test just to see if it matches what I'm pretty positive I am. So let's jump into this. If you've never heard this before, it sounds a little weird, all right? But from what I was looking at, it actually is really interesting, and I'm interested in it because it has to do with like health and stuff like that, and things that you can eat to make you better. So we're gonna do this test. I went online and I found some. Let's start the quiz. Fear is the emotion that disables me the most. Oh man, I hate tests like this where it's like 1 to 5. I don't think so. I would say a 2. I'm not always aware of other people's mood changes, feelings, or nuances in relationships. So this is like a double negative. I am not always aware, so that's not true. I am self-contained and not involved in the personal affairs of others. That's not true. I can quietly dismiss people who don't meet my high standards. Quietly dismiss. I would say that's true. I not only rank people by how much quality they have, their level of education is also important to me. I would say that's not true. I will often say I'm sorry even if it isn't really my fault. Sure, true. As long as I have a few good friends with whom I can talk about ideas, I don't need a huge social life. That's 1000% true, I would say. I don't buy or collect what I don't need.
Yes.
Yeah, I'd say that's 5. I was like, is it a 4 or 5? I'll say a 5. I don't buy stuff. Like, that's the thing about me. I just legitimately do not buy things. To the point where I sit there and I debate for like an hour at the store. Now, I'm not kidding. If I'm going to buy something that is $100 or not. People around me are like, Jordan, you literally never buy anything. Just buy it. And then I put it down and walk out of the store. When people ask me questions, I feel obligated to give them an answer, even if it feels uncomfortable. That's a hard one, I guess, 4. I am so clear about where I stand that I am not worried about conflict. I enjoy a good debate. I'd say that that is a 4. I would never humiliate or expose another publicly. I don't want anyone to lose face or be embarrassed. True. I am comfortable being a follower and not a leader, but I will lead if I must.
I'd would say that's true.
True?
Yes.
I said 3, I'll bump it up to a 4. I like going deep within my own creative process, and if I am distracted or disturbed, it is difficult for me to get back on track. Yeah, maybe 4. I don't need the limelight, I enjoy supporting others to shine. 4. I often brood about feeling unacknowledged. Brood about feeling unacknowledged. 3. I often panic under stress. Panic. 2. Even when my ideas are brilliant and can change the world, I need someone else to make them happen. 2. I can lose energy easily and need a nap or rest in order to restore. I don't think that's true at all, actually. I am not able to call people out when they're lying. I don't let people get away with wasting my time. Not true. I love lighthearted humor in both the serious and playful aspects of life. True. I am comfortable in my skin and I feel a great connection to self. True. All right, the quiz is done. I think I answered those the best that I could. I personally think that I am the element wood, just from looking stuff up. So let's see when I click finish quiz, what it says that I am. Hey, sure enough. Oh no, wait. The earth personality type. And then your secondary element is wood. That's what I thought. Okay, well this is interesting. The earth personality type. You are empathetic, compassionate, supportive, and diplomatic. Your secondary element is wood. Read about your elements here. All right, let's check this out. Sarah, the earth personality type is who? Mr. Rogers. Earth people almost always have children, but if they don't, they will pour their love into caring for animals or teaching children. Well, I feel like I teach children, like nieces and nephews.
Yes.
I love teaching my nieces and nephews to things, or just discovering what it is that they're interested in and then trying to help them develop into what that they're interested in. They will also pour their love into their relationships. If you know an earth person, you have probably received some homemade bread, a pie, some chicken soup. I do make juices for people, Sarah, when they come over, and oatmeal. I love making oatmeal for people. They want to make you feel comfortable, safe, and to know you are loved. They want to give to the whole world. Deep inside, they're hoping for love in return. They hold on to the past with all their might. Earths don't want anyone to feel bad or dislike them, so they are careful not to rock the boat. Uncomfortable with change and risk, they tend to walk on eggs, say what they think people want to hear, and enable others in all of their destructive behaviors. I don't want to say what I think because I don't want somebody to get mad. So the reason I thought that I was more wood was because from things I was reading, people like that are more like physically lean with exposed veins, which is what I have, and their emotional struggles are frustration and anger, and I can get easily frustrated, and like if I'm in traffic I can get angry sometimes, and it's just kind of stuff I've dealt with my whole life. The foods they need to eat are sour and bitter foods, so like green apples, spinach, veggie juice, green foods, and that's all stuff that I've always kind of like been drawn to when I've been like going through this like health journey or whatever. Like I love dandelion tea, which is very bitter, but like I really love it, and that's really good for your liver, which is what a wood person would need to nourish their liver and gallbladder, because of like the frustration and anger kind of like taxes that organ. Whereas when I read about the earth people, they're like more physically round and jolly, which that's not like how I consider myself, but their emotional struggle is worry, which I do worry, and then they need to nourish their spleen and stomach. So and foods to eat, warm vegetables like sweet potato and things like that. So kind of anything that has to do with like digestion and stuff, I can see just over the course of my life how that has, maybe been like more of an issue than anything else really. And kind of eating better and just learning a lot about nutrition and stuff has like really helped me a ton with stuff like that. And yeah, so I don't know, I found this really interesting. It's really cool that it's like 2,500 years old or whatever. So if you want to take this test, I'll put a link in the description below. I'll also link to a video by Dr. Axe about the TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine, and just the elements. It's pretty interesting. So yeah, again, take this stuff kind of with a grain of salt or whatever, but it is cool to look at and everything like that. So I'll see you guys next week, Friday at 12. So be there. Bye.